Welcome back to Mornings with Dave King and Matt Martin. We want to make sure that we go directly to the phones. We got the Car Pro Jerry Reynolds on the phone. Jerry, how are you this morning?
Guys, I'm doing really well. How about y'all?
I'm doing good so far. It's still early though. Still got to go home and teach my kids.
I hear you, brother. I hear you. It has been a good week for me. I've had a very unusual SUV this week. Wasn't sure what to expect out of this, and it took me a few days to figure this one out. It's the 2020 Lincoln Aviator, which I had when it first came out. And there's no question, this thing is a beautiful, beautiful luxury 7-passenger SUV.
Now, the Aviator, I'm trying to remember, that's the midsize. That's the Navigator's the big one, the Aviator's the middle one, right?
Right.
Okay.
But still has a very nice third-row seat. And then you step down to the 5-passenger Nautilus, which took the place of the MKX. But this Aviator, roomy, it shares some things with the Ford Explorer, but, boy, there's just not much. I mean, it's not like Lincolns today are rebadged Fords anymore. They're very unique. This one, the variation on this one was under the hood. It's got a hybrid system that runs along with the gasoline engine, which is a 3.5. Ford calls it the EcoBoost. Lincoln does not, but it's still a 3.5-liter V6 with 2 turbos. Then you add this 13.6 kilowatt lithium-ion battery to it, and all of a sudden this thing becomes a real hot rod. You go from 400 horses with the regular Aviator to almost 500 horses in this hybrid. And then you look at the torque that's added when the battery kicks in, and it puts the torque figures up at over 630 pound-feet, which, guys, is incredible.
I was going to say, that's isn't that what the Ram, or pretty close to what the Ram diesel you had last week had? Or was it Ram?
The torque number was similar. The horsepower, nothing like
right,
it.
Exactly.
And it's got drive modes where you can change, the driving and shifting, and the way you can eliminate the battery pack from kicking in. You can conserve it where it only kicks in when you need it. But the performance of this thing is just astounding. I mean, it's the first hybrid that I've ever driven that its purpose wasn't really a hybrid to get you better fuel economy. The purpose of the system is to give you performance. And I've never seen that in a vehicle before. I mean, if you run on pure battery, your range is only 21 miles on strictly battery. So, unless you've got a really short commute, you're still going to be putting gas in this thing. But that's not the point of it. The point is, to boost that performance up. And they found a really clever way to do it. Interior, amazing. Most comfortable front seats I've ever sat in. 30 different power adjustments on the front seats. And if you can't get comfortable in these seats, just forget it. You can't get comfortable. This would be a great vehicle for people with back problems because it's got so many different ways to set the seat. Beautiful on the outside, absolutely stunning on the inside. All that wonderfulness comes at a price, however. This thing is $83,000 on the window sticker. The hybrid system adds $5,000 to the price. But if you've got a heavy foot, you like to get up and go when you want to, that $5,000 is well spent, guys.
Yeah.
Well, Jerry, it is absolutely beautiful. There's no doubt, and I think you answered one of my questions: is how much moolah, and it's a lot. Tell me about the longevity. How many miles can you expect to get out of a Lincoln product nowadays?
With 3.5 being such a great engine, I drove the first 3.5 EcoBoost. It was actually in a Lincoln product in 2010. So we've got 10 years of history on this engine now, and when it first came out, people were scared to death of turbochargers because of the old turbocharger systems. But, now that's the absolute most popular engine in the number one selling vehicle in the world, which is the F-150, and it's not uncommon to see that engine go 250,000 miles. Now, the other components of the car, who knows? It's probably pretty typical. You're going to get 150,000 miles or maybe a little better out of the transmission, and then some of the other issues that you'd have with any car, such as air conditioning compressors, power steering pumps, an electric window motor here and there. That's going to be pretty typical at 150,000 miles. But just Lincoln, like every other car company out there, are making their cars way more durable and longer lasting than they ever have before. So, somebody wanted to settle in with this thing and keep it for a long time, I think it'll make the trip.
So I do have a question with the torque. I know that most people aren't going to buy it for anything like this, but with that kind of torque, could you use it to haul things around?
Oh, yeah. It's got 6,500 pounds of towing capacity, which, interestingly enough, is less than what the non-hybrid version of the Aviator has. It had 7,700 pounds. But part of that is strictly in the gearing. I mean, they're gearing this thing for better fuel economy than the regular Aviator. I think Lincoln knows their audience pretty well by now. They know what they want. They're not looking for that great fuel economy when you buy a really heavy Lincoln like this, over 5,000 pounds of weight. So, I think they're now catering to that performance side, and it's pretty smart because there's not a lot out there that competes with this if you look at the numbers.
Yeah. All right, well, I'm looking over on the news section of CarProUSA.com. Is there anything you would like to highlight? Yeah,
the AAA just came out with a survey that's fascinating because people always want to talk to me about self-driving cars. And AAA did a study that was very, very telling about people's perceptions of self-driving cars, and it's strictly about the terms that car companies use. Now, they did not call out Tesla, but it was written all over it. I mean, what they were saying, they were targeting autopilot without saying it, and people, because they buy into that name, autopilot, they think that they can just take their hands off the wheel and watch a movie while they're going down the highway. And that has killed a good number of people where the autopilot has malfunctioned. So their message is, and I've been preaching this for years now, but their message is, hey, don't trust these things. We're not there. Self-driving cars are in the future. They are not there today, and don't trust them.
Yeah, I also noticed one other thing. You've got a Lamborghini bicycle on here.
I couldn't resist because I knew everybody would jump on that headline, get yourself a new Lamborghini for just $18,000. But, yeah, it's a bicycle made by Lamborghini. Not sure what their point was, but I thought it was a cute story. And then I've got another one right next to that about the new Lucid all-electric luxury sedan, a vehicle I've been watching since they first announced it several years ago. And if you want to see something absolutely drop-dead gorgeous.
Yeah, it's a beautiful car.
Oh, it is. Take a look at it. We've got pictures of the outside and the inside, which the inside is just amazing. It's Jetson stuff.
Yeah, it's a nice-looking car. All right. Well, I want to remind everyone that you're on from 11 to 1 every Saturday right here on 95.1 FM, 790 AM KFYO. And the Lincoln Aviator will be on CarProUSA.com on, Monday?
Yeah, Monday at the latest.
And then don't forget to check out CarProUSA.com. Check out their news section. They got some pretty cool stuff on there. So, all right, thanks. Thanks, Jerry.
Thanks, guys. Y'all be good.
All right, talk to you in a week. We'll be right back on News Talk 95.1 FM, 790 AM, KFYO.